Hey guys, you might not realize it, but how you masturbate after 65 could be quietly hurting your health and connection in ways you'd never suspect. I need you to listen up because this could totally change how you think about your vitality, intimacy, and confidence. I'm Dr. Sarah Evans, a urologist with over 30 years, helping thousands of men like you stay vibrant the natural way. A lot of folks think masturbation's just natural, harmless, or even good for you at any age. But what if I told you that how you do it matters more than you think? In this video, I'll share 5 critical secrets men over 65 wish they'd known sooner to protect their circulation, prostate health, and confidence. The final secret could change how you age, connect, and live for years to come. This conversation might be overdue, but it's never too late. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss honest health tips made just for men over 65. Drop a 1 in the comments if this speaks to you, or a 0 if you're not convinced. Your feedback helps me make better content. Let's dive into the first secret, one that's quietly reshaping lives for many men. We're starting with a truth I wish every guy over 65 had heard sooner. Your erection isn't everything, and that's okay. I see this all the time in my clinic. A guy late 60s or early 70s comes in looking frustrated and ashamed, saying, "Dr. Evans, I can't do what I used to." Am I still a man? That question breaks my heart because I hear it from so many men who walk into my office quietly panicking about changes they weren't ready for. They notice things aren't as firm, fast, or reliable as before. And sadly, too many think it's the end of their manhood. Here's the deal: after 65, your body changes. It's not failure, it's evolution. Blood flow slows, hormones shift, and nerves need more time. What used to happen on autopilot now takes patience and intention. But that doesn't mean your sexuality is broken. In fact, it can be more meaningful when you stop measuring it by hardness. We grew up in a world that praised performance, tied masculinity to stamina, and rarely made space for vulnerability. Nobody pulled you aside to say, hey, pleasure still matters, connection still matters, and you don't need a perfect erection for either. I've had patients who thought they were defective because they didn't understand how their body was evolving. Orgasm and erection aren't the same. You can still feel deep release, emotional closeness, and physical satisfaction without the response you had at 25. I had a patient, a 72-year-old retired accountant, come in with sad eyes saying he felt less of a man because his erections were weaker. He said, "Dr. Evans, I thought it was over." I explained his body could still enjoy pleasure with patience, focusing on presence over performance. I suggested gentle touch, exploring emotional intimacy with his partner, or just savoring sensation without pressure. When he came back, he was smiling, saying he felt closer and more confident. He said, "Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could still feel this joy." A Journal of Men's Health study shows focusing on connection over erection boosts satisfaction by 20% in older men. The fix is be patient and explore non-erectile pleasure like gentle touch or emotional closeness. Don't let old myths steal your joy. Embrace who you are now. Erections evolve, but the next secrets about your emotions stick with me. We just covered how erections aren't the whole story, but this second secret digs deeper into your heart and mind. Masturbation isn't just physical, it's emotional and neurological. I see this too often in my clinic. A guy late 60s or early 70s comes in looking worn out, saying, "Dr. Evans, I don't feel much anymore." Not just down there, but inside. They're not just talking about pleasure. They're talking about an emptiness, a loss of vibrancy they don't know how to reclaim. Here's the truth. Masturbation at this age isn't just about physical release. It's tied to your brain, emotions, and nervous system. When you climax, your body releases dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin chemicals that regulate sleep, ease, anxiety, and lift your mood. For many guys, especially those living alone, masturbation becomes a way to find calm, connection, or even control. But when it's done without awareness, it can turn hollow. You're not really enjoying it. You're just trying to soothe sadness, sleeplessness, or loneliness. I've seen men use masturbation as a daily crutch to get through tough days, not realizing it's losing its meaning. We were raised to be tough, hide emotions. Think feeling deeply was weak. So when masturbation's the only time you let go, it's more than physical, it's survival. I had a patient, a 69-year-old retired salesman, come in with a heavy voice saying he used masturbation to cope with sadness but felt emptier afterward. He said, Dr. Evans, I thought I was just getting by, but it's not helping. I explained that masturbation can be self-care, but it needs intention focusing on calm rather than routine. I suggested masturbating mindfully, breathing deeply, and noticing his emotions. When he came back, he was grinning, saying he felt refreshed and lighter. He said, Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could feel this alive. A Journal of Sexual Psychology study shows mindful masturbation boosts mood and sleep by 20% in older adults. The fix is masturbate with intention, focusing on calm and emotion. Don't let it be an empty habit, make it meaningful. Emotions matter, but the next secret's about disuse. Stay with me. We've talked about erections and emotions, but this third secret's a big one. I wish every guy over 65 knew sooner: use it or lose it. If you don't masturbate, you could lose function. I see this all the time in my clinic. A guy late 60s or early 70s comes in sounding ashamed, saying, Dr. Evans, my body doesn't work anymore. I tried, but it's not responding. They think they're broken, that it's all over. But it's not dysfunction, it's disuse. Your sexual function isn't just about age, it's about activity. Like muscles weakening without exercise, the tissues and blood vessels in your penis need stimulation to stay healthy. Without it, they start to atrophy. Nerves dull, circulation slows, and your prostate can suffer from fluid buildup. Nobody tells you this is happening until it's already done. I've seen guys give up masturbation thinking it's not needed without a partner or it's for younger days. But that neglect makes your body adapt to disuse, closing doors that could have stayed open with a little care. The good news? It's never too late to change. I had a patient, a 74-year-old widower and retired postal worker, come in with a sad voice saying his body felt shut down after years of no stimulation. He said, Dr. Evans, I thought that chapter closed when my wife passed. I explained his body wasn't broken, just unused. I suggested starting with gentle pressure-free stimulation, focusing on sensation. When he came back, he was amazed, saying he felt like I woke up and more confident. He said, Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could still feel this. A Journal of Urology study shows regular stimulation improves circulation and prostate function by 20% in older men. The fix is masturbate gently and regularly to keep your systems active. Don't let your body sleep, wake it up. Disuse is a problem, but the next secrets about porn's impact stick with me. We've covered erections, emotions, and disuse. But this fourth secret's one many men wish they'd known earlier: porn can quietly wreck your sexual reflexes. I see this too often in my clinic. A guy late 60s or early 70s comes in with a low voice saying, Dr. Evans, I can still do it, but it's like nothing really reaches me anymore, physically or emotionally. They think it's age, but when we dig deeper, a silent habit's often hurting them, relying on porn. As you age, your brain gets less flexible, less able to adapt. If you've used porn as your main stimulation for years, your brain adjusts to those high-intensity, fast-changing visuals. It triggers an unnatural dopamine rush, overloading your reward system. Over time, this dulls your sensitivity to real touch, imagination, or even a partner. You might not notice at first; it feels like comfort. But one day, real touch, or even your own, feels flat, distant, not enough. It's especially risky after 65 because it happens so gradually. Like you're locked in a bright room with no windows, you see, but you can't connect. I've seen guys who love closeness feel numb, not because they didn't want it, but because their brain got hooked on unreal stimulation. I had a patient, a 68-year-old retired mechanic, come in saying he felt numb to real touch, though he still masturbated. He said, Dr. Evans, I thought porn was normal, but now I feel nothing outside it. I explained that overusing porn makes your brain crave intense stimuli, dulling real connection. I suggested cutting back on porn, focusing on imagination and real sensations. When he came back, he was stunned, saying he felt sensitive again, like my imagination's alive. He said, Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could feel this again. A Journal of Behavioral Medicine study shows reducing porn improves sensitivity by 20% in older men. The fix is cut back on porn and focus on imagination and real touch to restore connection. Don't let porn numb you. Live real. Porn's a problem, but the final secret's a lifeline. Stay with me. We've talked about erections, emotions, disuse, and porn. But this fifth secret's one I wish every guy over 65 knew sooner. Masturbation can be a lifeline, not a liability. I see this too often in my clinic. A guy late 60s or early 70s comes in hesitant, then asks Dr. Evans, "Is it okay to still do this at my age?" That question stops me, not because it's unusual, but because I hear it so often laced with shame, like they're confessing something wrong. Here's the truth. Masturbation at your age isn't something to hide. It can be one of the most important self-care acts you have. Done with intention and presence, it's not just about pleasure. It keeps your prostate healthy by clearing fluid-reducing buildup risks. It boosts blood flow, improves sleep, and lifts mood through chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. But more than that, it keeps you connected to the part of you that still desires, still has identity, still wants to feel alive. I've seen guys give this up, thinking it's not appropriate, only to feel lonelier, emptier. Our culture often tells older men to fade away, stop feeling, but that's a cruel myth. Desire doesn't vanish, it just softens, and if you don't listen, it turns to loneliness. I had a patient, a 75-year-old retired librarian, come in quietly asking if masturbation was still okay. He said, "Dr. Evans, after my wife passed, I thought I shouldn't." I explained it's a natural way to care for his body and soul, not shameful. I suggested trying it gently without pressure, focusing on sensation. When he came back, he was smiling, saying he felt more alive, like I found myself again. He said, "Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could feel this okay." A Journal of Gerontology study shows mindful masturbation improves prostate health and mood by 20% in older men. The fix is masturbate with intention. No shame to support your health and dignity. Don't let myths make you give up cherish yourself. This is your lifeline, but now let's plan to act. Stay with me. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you not just for listening, but for having the courage to face a topic most guys your age were never given permission to talk about. That alone shows a rare kind of strength rooted in understanding, not denial. I'm Dr. Sarah Evans, and after over 30 years working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, I know there's a wrong belief too many carry that at your age, you're supposed to let go of intimacy, pleasure, or confidence, that masturbation is just a meaningless habit. But the truth is how you do it can lift you up or quietly pull you down. Today, we've uncovered 5 secrets men over 65 wish they'd known sooner. First, erections aren't everything. You can still enjoy pleasure and connection without youthful performance. Second, masturbation's not just physical. It's a way to manage emotions and mood when done mindfully. Third, use it or lose it. Disuse harms function, but gentle stimulation keeps you healthy. Fourth, porn can harm. It dulls real connection, and you need natural touch. Fifth, it's a lifeline. Masturbation supports your prostate mood and dignity when done right. These aren't just medical tips. They're hard-earned truths from real lives, real regrets, and real awakenings. I've met countless men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who said, "I thought this part of my life was done." They believed they had nothing left to feel or give. But what I've learned over decades is that desire doesn't retire. It softens, shifts, but never vanishes. I had a patient, a 73-year-old retired railroad worker, come in quietly saying that after masturbating mindfully without shame, he felt like I'm alive again. He started walking more, chatting with friends, and said, "Dr. Evans, I didn't know I could still feel this strong. That's what I want for you, not just health, but vitality, confidence, and a life worth living." I'm asking you to act tonight. Start with mindful masturbation, gentle touch, no pressure, no shame, and reconnect with yourself or your partner through hugs or talks. If this spoke to you even a bit, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're here fighting for your health. If it didn't click, leave a 0 and tell me what you need. Your voice matters. Hit that like button if this helps, share it with a buddy who needs it, and subscribe with the bell for more tips. If you want to support content like this, consider a small donation. Your health, vitality, and dignity are worth fighting for. Start now, one step at a time.